Hello there, and thank you so much for attending my Your Big Leap workshop masterclass. I am really excited to do this workshop. I think that it will definitely get some gears going for you and help you to further decide whether or not you are ready to take your big leap to become an entrepreneur. So if you are currently working a full-time job, an 8 to 5, a 9 to 5 job, and you're not happy where you are, and you've been considering taking a big leap to become an entrepreneur, this is for you. You are in the right place. So just enjoy this presentation, sit back, relax, take notes, or even just passively listening will get you far, okay? Because right now I'm going to talk to you about why now is the best time to take your big leap and soar. So first, starting off, I want to introduce myself. My name is Brianna, and I am the owner of the Sacral Psychic, where I provide readings and Reiki healing sessions for my clients. I am also an author, so I have written a couple books. I also have one in progress called Unlocking Your Potential. It's all about mindset, and I'm really excited for that book to drop, and it will be coming out soon. So I want to talk a little bit about the story of my big leap, because this was a very impactful time in my life when I took this big leap. And I remember how scary it was when I took my big leap. I remember that the only thing that was getting in the way of my big leap was myself. Okay, I'll say that again. The only thing that was getting in the way of taking my big leap was myself. It was my mindset. It was the fear that I had. All those things were coming up. When I put in my 2 weeks notice, I was literally like shaking. I was like this. My hands were shaking. I was so scared to put in my 2 weeks notice, but I had done it and I am not going back. And in this presentation, I will explain the reasons why I took my leap and why I'm not going back. But I want to begin with the beginning, of course. So I graduated with my master's degree in social work. I graduated with a 4.0 GPA. I absolutely loved school because I was able to attend school and work my own hours. It was just amazing. I was able to raise my kids and have that time where anywhere I was, I could just take my laptop and do whatever it is I needed to do and then be done with it, turn the assignment in, done. And I kind of wanted it to be like that when I graduated. And so once I graduated, I was just like very I was having a hard time because everybody was telling me, you're going to have to go to work now, and now it's time for you to work. And so I just sort of followed that belief system of having to go to a 9 to 5 now because I was done with school, and I really didn't want to, but I honestly had to pay my bills and I had, to take care of my kids. I had to provide. So I did. I started job searching, and the first job I applied for, literally, I got it. I was a care coordinator with Presbyterian. I worked there for 2.5 years. I grew a lot as a person, and I'm really grateful for that journey. But I am also grateful that I had decided to take the leap to do what I love now, because I feel like I'm making such an impact on the world with what I'm doing, more so than just sitting behind a computer for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, and doing paperwork and being micromanaged. That was not fun, and it was very draining. It was draining to my soul. It was very hard to work while I was being told what to do and how to do it. And then one thing that I was frustrated about always was that when I made a mistake, there was just like this inability for my supervisor to move forward. And the way it was handled, it was just harsh on my spirit, on my mental health. So I started feeling really drained. And there were days I'd wake up and I was just unhappy. I would dwell on supervision meetings. And I worked remotely too, but it was just taking such a toll on me. It was taking a lot of time, a lot of energy to do this work. And it was really difficult for me to manage my time with my kids at the same time and have to be there for them and also be there for all of this caseload of people that I had with mental health issues. So yeah, it was just a really hard time. And then whenever we had the COVID, when we had everybody locked down, it was actually beneficial to me because I was used to working at home. I did that at school for years. So I went to online school, but once I did this job online, It was a little bit easier, still very arduous, still a lot of paperwork, but at least I was able to be at home with my kids and pick them up and drop them off from school. Well, before you knew it, it was time to go back into the field, and I just didn't want to do that. So I went ahead and put in my 2 weeks notice at a time that I ran into a mentor, and I invested in that program, and I took my big leap, and I took it to the extent that I wanted to be readily available and just go all in for this program. It was called the Abundant Queen Academy, and I invested over $4,000 into this so that I can learn different methods on how to be an entrepreneurship. And I'm really grateful that this program came to me in divine timing, and it just taught me a lot about how to become an entrepreneur and the things that I was already doing initially while I was working, and now just growing off of them. And so I'm really, really happy. I'm in a very great place in life. I have a lot of freedom. I do work a lot still, but it doesn't feel like hard work. I don't feel oppressed, and I don't feel like I have to get it done now. I don't feel pressured when I make a mistake. I learn from it and I just move on. It's always a continuous growth still, but I'm just in a better position because I'm able to be my own boss and do whatever it is that I want to do now. And of course, I do like to be creative, and I like to work, and I like to attract clients. And that is something that I'm doing more now because I have the space to do that. So first it was on the side. I was going back and forth between my job and my entrepreneurship, but now I can fully focus my attention into entrepreneurship. And what I really want is for you to do that too, because whenever I started out, I didn't have that support. Okay. People didn't know that they didn't think that it would be wise to quit your job and to do this and to take the leap and the risk. So I was basically on my own. I didn't really have support aside from a mentor to help me. So that is what I would like to see for you, is just to have that support, have that information, have those resources so that you can feel comfortable enough to be able to go for it and take that leap. It's still scary, I'm not going to lie, but at least you will have something to land on. And that is my objective here for this workshop and for this course. Okay, so I want to talk about the benefits of leaping. So it's awesome. As I was saying, you get to be your own boss. That is great. Now you have to hold yourself accountable, but it is so awesome to be your own boss because you get to decide your hours, and you get to decide who you're hiring, what you're investing in, where your money is going at all times. It can be a little bit arduous because you have to wear many different hats, but again, less stressful because you don't have somebody breathing down your back, and you don't have somebody eyeing your every mistake and telling you how to do it and when to do it and when it's due and what happens if you don't do it. That's what I was getting. I was getting all that ridicule, and I'm not sure if you are right now, if you're here, if that's why you're here. But it is one of the benefits of taking that leap, is that you get to be your own boss, and that is awesome. Okay, you get to operate on your own hours. So I have a scheduler where my clients can schedule. And the beauty of that is that I get to decide when I want to work. They put on the schedule when they want me to be available for them, yes, but I can take those times off. Like whenever I go to pick up my girls from school, I have that flexibility to do that without anybody telling me or having to talk to anybody about it. So it's so great. You get to pursue your own passion. So whatever it is that you want to do, however creative you want to be, this is the arena for that. Okay. Entrepreneurship is the way to go because you get to be very creative. You get to be very, how do you say, passionate about whatever it is that you do, writing down new ideas, just waking up to new ideas even, and really following your heart and just going for it. It's an amazing feeling. It really is. You also get to help clients in the way that you want to do. So whatever method or style it is that you like to help your clients with is how you'll be able to do it. A lot of the things you will develop from working your full-time job, of course, you're still going to take those qualities with you that you've learned and how you've developed your character and whatnot. But now you get to incorporate it in your own way. For example, I get to help clients. I get to sit here, do my thing with them, and record my video, send it to them, and no paperwork. And then it's take the next client, record my content, do whatever it is I need to get done, but I get to do it in my way. Okay. I still have that routine. I have that developed. I know how to do spreadsheets. I know how to upload things because of my past job, but now I can take it and apply it into this job. and it really helps. And I think it feels better too. It feels more fulfilling that I get to show up and help my clients in the way that I want to, however I want to. Nobody's telling me how to do it or what to do or what paperwork to fill out. I just show up and I help my clients, and then my day is passes by before you know it. Okay. Now that you decided to take your leap, should you decide to take your leap, you're going to have space for more ideas to come in, to allow them to come in. So if you don't really have ideas yet on how to make a sale or how to attract clients or whatever it is, that's okay. Okay. Because once you decide to quit, you're going to have space for that, and you're going to learn along the way. The next benefit of leaping is that once you leap, you literally have no limitations on what it is that you can do. Okay. This arena it's limitless. You can do anything that you want to do. If you want to start branding yourself and growing from your brand, or if you want to post content on this platform and not on that, then you can. Okay. And you're also going to constantly learn, and you're going to constantly grow as you go. Right. So the more that you learn, the more that you gain experience, it's going to really benefit you. And I think that in a job, versus entrepreneurship, being in a job is kind of like being in a hamster wheel, whereas entrepreneurship, you have all that freedom and a leverage to learn whatever you can and whatever you want to learn. So I think that's why there is so much limitless energy when it comes to entrepreneurship. So the next thing I want to mention is life is short. Okay. Tomorrow's never promised. I just want to bring that up. I think it's very important for you to really take that in. A lot of the times when I was working my full-time job, I would think like, what if something happens to me next week? Like, and I didn't try, and I didn't take that leap, and I didn't go for it. I could literally get hit by a bus next week for all I know. And I don't want to live my life not knowing whether or not I was able to do this or accomplish this or achieve this. So I need to do this. Like, that's what really got my gears going for me to take the leap. It propelled me, it motivated me, because I didn't want to like just stay stuck in this job in my comfort zone because it was stable and I had stability and I had a stable paycheck, but I was miserable and like live the rest of my life that way or until I retired. And which I would be when I retire, I'd be too old to have that freedom because I wouldn't have energy. And that's just how I think of it. Okay. I've studied a lot of millionaires who also think this way about their lives as well. And it just makes sense. It's like, why would you want to work for 30, 40 years for somebody else who doesn't really care about you and then retire when you're like far too old and you don't have much energy to go anywhere, do much with the money that you have, when you can just like work? Yes, you've got to put in the work as an entrepreneur, but you do it now and then you get your benefits still now, right? Like, because you can literally work wherever, whenever, however you want. You have no limits. Like I said, like, so if you want to go like on vacation and you feel the urge to just like write, you can like whip out your laptop and literally right there on the beach with a margarita, write your story, write your content, whatever ideas that you have flowing, and nobody's there to like be like, hey, you need to do it this way, you need to stay at your desk, you need to be available in these hours. No, you have the freedom that you need to write. If you don't want to take in your clients, you can just take a day off. Okay, if you need a mental freaking health day, you can just shut off your calendar for that day, and do that, and that's okay, right? Like, there's just more breathing room and you have more freedom now versus, okay, I'll have freedom when I'm like 68. No. I just don't think that that's fair. And I don't think that's the way that we should be living life. People may agree or disagree, but that's just how I feel about my life. Okay. The next thing I want to address is that it's better to try and to make your mistakes along the way than to not try at all. I believe that the biggest way that you can fail is by not trying at all. The worst that can happen is that you can just get another job if it doesn't work out, but it's going to work out for you because that's why you're here. Okay. Now you're going to learn things along the way. That's why it's going to learn out. That's why it's going to work out. You're going to learn and develop your own method, your own strategies along the way. The next thing I want to mention is the next topic I want to mention or let you think about is just receive this, okay? Because it's so important. I think that a lot of people are afraid to take the leap because they're in this comfort and they're afraid of what's on the other side. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of this. They're afraid of losing that. They're afraid of not paying their bills. They're afraid of succeeding and not being able to handle it. Okay, so there's just a lot of fears that come with it. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Okay, you do have what it takes. You will make it. You're going to be okay. You get to build something that is brick by brick yours, and nobody can take it from you. Once it's built, it's there, it's in place. Nobody's going to take it from you. Now, it may take some time for you to build, it may take some money for you to build, but nevertheless, it's yours. Okay, you're not working for someone else. You're not making someone else rich. You're working for yourself, and at the long run, it's going to be beneficial to you and also your family as well. If you want it to carry it down to the family, that's your choice as well. Okay. So when you decide to step into entrepreneurship, it's an entirely different energy. You're still going to definitely need those qualities that you developed in your full-time job. But like I said, it's a lot different. You're going to learn how to move outside your comfort zone. Okay. It's a constant thing. I feel uncomfortable more so than I ever have before. I'm working on learning about how to do new effective strategies in marketing. And it is a very uncomfortable feeling for me, but I just like lean into that. And then I end up finding success through being outside of my comfort zones. Always have I found success from stepping out of my comfort zone. Success does not lie in your comfort zone. Okay. Success lies outside of your comfort zone, trying something new, even if it's scary, trial and error. If it doesn't work, try something else. Okay. So stepping outside of your comfort zone is going to be a huge action that you're going to be taking when you step into entrepreneurship. Nobody's told me that. I had to figure that out on my own, but it is constant. It's a constant learning and growing. So if that's something that you like to do, if you like to change things up, or if you feel like you can jump out of your comfort zone, then it's definitely entrepreneurship is for you. Okay. You've got to understand that making those investments in yourself and your business is the greatest thing that you can do. Even if you do not see that return of investment right off the bat, you are learning and you are gaining value. And it is just as important as anything else, because you are learning a new skill. I am constantly learning. I am constantly growing. It's something that I am always doing, and I will never stop. For me, my journey is lifelong, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship and learning new things. Constantly learning, but it's also important to implement what you've learned so that you can really see the reward in it. Okay. You're going to start developing faith and patience for your harvest to come in. There's been days where I've just been like, okay, I don't know what to do now. I've already done all my work. There's nothing coming in. There's nothing going out. I don't know what to do. So I've just had to like sit with that and feel that and just have patience. And then before you know it, once I'm relaxed and patient, all these clients start coming in, all these orders start coming in, things start to happen, right? So it's really just a lesson of being still and grounded and taking care of yourself while you have the time and knowing that it's on its way. Okay. You're going to work a lot less. Should you decide, I mean, you can bust your butt and work 18 to 20 hours a day, by all means, go ahead. And also there's days where you do that and you don't even realize that you've done that. I think I've been up since like, I don't know, like 8:39 working, and it's probably about, what time is it? Okay. It's like 7:50 at night. So it's not like I don't do a 9 to 5 anymore. I do a 9 to later, but I'll take more breaks, and I know like I'll reward myself. So tomorrow I won't work as much. So it is different. Time is different, but you're not staring at the clock constantly. That's for sure. I had no idea that it was already almost 8 o'clock because I'm not really paying attention to time. Time doesn't really exist in my reality as an entrepreneur. When I do my projects and stuff, I just get lost in the day, right? So yeah, and it's not going to feel like work. It's going to feel more like a flow, and it's going to feel a lot better than if you were to get a pile of tasks and have to work, right? You're going to be working less. Sometimes you'll only work like 2 or 3 hours a day. Sometimes it'll be all day long. The schedule varies. So if that's something that you're not comfortable with, that's okay too, because you make your own schedule as an entrepreneurship. You could say, you know what, I'm going to do this for 2 hours and then I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to do this. Like, you get to create your own schedule. That's the magic and that's the beauty of it. And then collaboration with others. Of course, you have to show up for the meetings and consider that as a time factor, because it is important when you're working with others and they hold you accountable, but the rest of the day is yours. Like, if you don't have any other meetings for the rest of the day, you can do whatever it is that you feel the urge to do, the action steps that you need to take. Okay. You're going to have to definitely engage in a lot of trial and error to see what works and what doesn't. Okay. So don't be affected. Like, if you make a promotion or you make a post or you do something that you haven't done before and nothing comes out of it, it's okay, because you can just try the next thing, and the next thing, right? It's so much trial and error when it comes to running your own business, and it takes time to learn, but we have to go through the process and you have to trust the process in order to get the results. So lots of trial and error. That's why it is good to invest in a mentor or a program or people who have been ahead of you, who've been doing this for quite some time along the way, so that you can have a better idea of how to do things and not have to do so much trial and error. You're going to be celebrating your small victories along the way, okay? If you don't want to, that's okay, but it's really good to do that, because you're your own boss. You've got to remember to reward yourself along the way and along your little milestones of what you've learned and how you've grown. And I just think that it's so important to really give yourself that encouragement and that positive reinforcement along the way, and that gratification, whether it's like to reward yourself with something minor or to take a day to relax, do some self-care, but definitely celebrate your small victories along the way, even if it's just like something you barely figured out, okay? Because it is a marathon. It's not going to happen overnight, and the little things always add up. Lastly, you're going to see progress, okay? This is a journey of growth, and you will grow. And so will your business. So you got to start out planting that seed, and then planting more seeds. And then next thing you know, you got a whole garden. Okay. It just takes time. So the next thing I want to talk about that is very important when it comes to making your big leap is the mindset and the structure that is needed to be had when you're taking your leap. Okay. Shifting your mindset is very important. Okay. You have to have a growth mindset and a positive mindset. It's going to take you a lot further than limiting your mindset or having a fixed mindset and not thinking that things will work out. So always shifting that mindset, redirecting your mindset to the growth mindset and also positive and abundant mindset is going to really help you as an entrepreneur. A good thing that you could do to really help yourself give yourself some structure, if that's something that you need, is definitely to create a routine for yourself. It's going to give you that structure and also help you to be focused and give you a little bit of a sense of direction. When I first started as a business owner, I was totally lost. I didn't know what to do in my day, but now I have a better idea because I have that routine. Okay, I'm going to make some content. Okay, I've got this meeting. Okay, look at my schedule, see what's coming up for the day. Let me just write an email out and then I'll do this and that and that. And then I just like let it go about my day. But having that routine develops healthy habits. And before you see the results, you have to develop the habits. Okay. That's the most important thing. If you could take anything from this workshop, just remember that your habits and developing those habits are more important than actually winning the money overnight, literally. Okay. It's the habits that create the prosperity for you. The habits create the prosperity. The habits create the abundance. And having this habit of developing a positive mindset and having a little routine for yourself each day that you wake up is really going to help you have a strong mind and to help you move forward in your journey of entrepreneurship. Okay. There's going to be times where you're going to get stuck. Absolutely. I probably got stuck like 3 times today along my processes of what I was doing, my projects and things like that. You're always going to find the answers along the way. Whether you're going to Google something or you're going to find something on YouTube, there's always an answer for you there. You always have resources. You have access to resources. This is the internet. Okay. You can really find anything that you want to find, any questions that you have, any ideas that you have. You will get back to flowing again. It's a learning and growth process, as I had said. Okay. So I want you to take some time to really think about what lights you up. Does entrepreneurship light you up? Is it something that you can wake up and do every single day? Um, do what you love without any supervision, having all kinds of ideas, allowing them to come in, getting up, excitedly writing things down or trying new things, meeting new people, networking along the way, enjoying your journey, attracting awesome, amazing clients who always come back because they love you so much. They just return back to you, and that you're actually helping them. Okay, and you're doing all of this with no boss. It is the best. It's the best life. Okay, right now I'm living my best life, and I'm so grateful that I had the strength to take my leap, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this workshop, encouraging you to take yours. Okay, I absolutely am grateful for what I've experienced. I'm grateful for having a boss that I wasn't that I didn't really care much for. It wasn't like my highlight of the day, because if I hadn't, I'd probably be in the same position that I was in before. So just remember, this workshop could have just come in divine timing, and remember that everything happens for a reason. And really, I just want you to think about this so that you can switch your your mindset from, oh my gosh, what if it fails? What if I fail? What if I don't do it right? Or what if something happens? But what if you succeed? What if you succeed, right? What if you actually do something, or you have an idea and you make like $100,000? What if you end up attracting like these big money clients? What if you grow so big that you have to start hiring people because you're so successful and you need help? What if that happens? Start thinking about those things instead of what if I fail, because that's what held me back for so long, is just this, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? No, that's just my fear, and that's an illusion. Okay, it's not real. Okay, so I want to talk about investments, because I think that it's really important to talk about, and I don't really see people talking about this a whole lot, but they want you to invest in stuff. But I want to talk about they want you to invest in something, they want you to buy your programs, and that's all good, right? That's money makes the world go round, and it's really like a good thing to have a mentor and to invest in a mentor and a program. But it's just important to do your research, use your discernment along the way, find what is a good fit for you. Okay, you're going to it would be good to invest in knowledge and mentors, because they help expedite the process. They've already been there on the mountain, and with that knowledge, you can definitely grow much faster. Okay, at a quicker rate, because you're going to gain value from them. You're going to gain value, you're going to gain different mindset shifts, you're going to gain the strategies, etc., etc., the resources as well. Whereas if you didn't have one, you'd be like endlessly searching for them, not knowing exactly where to start or where to go. Okay, so definitely do your research, trust your intuition. This is definitely the first step of entrepreneurship, is like trusting yourself, knowing that you're on the right path, listening to yourself, right? Those are some huge qualities that you need as an entrepreneur. And remembering, because when I first started, I invested thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, I invested $10,000 in a funnel program, and I invested over 4 grand on this recent mentor, who definitely gave me way over 4 grand of value, if I would say so myself. But I did the investing, and I would just tell myself, because that is a lot, that's a chunky change of money. But I would just say, you know what, it's okay, because at the end of the year, it's a write-off. I can put it on as a write-off for my taxes, and basically it's a deductible. And at the end of the day, I got value. I was able to move forward in my journey of entrepreneurship, and it just it's going to work out the way it should, right? And also that money comes back, right? It's going to come back one way or another. You're going to get your return of investment, maybe not overnight, but eventually you do. I am. Okay. And it's okay. Like I said, if you don't see your return of investment right away, just have patience. And investing in a mentor will expedite the process, as I had said. All right, so I want you to think about time here. This is a huge one, right? Because when you work a full-time job, by the time you get off of work, you have to make dinner, if you're cooking dinner, or maybe your husband does, but you got to eat dinner, and or your wife does. I don't know who cooks the dinner in your house. But before it was me. I would work 9 to 5, and then I'd have to make dinner, and then I have to get the kids ready for bed, and the next day just do it all over again, right? I still have routines, and I still work during the day, but not as much. And it's not taking as much of my time. Like I have more time to work out now. I have more time to be with my kids. I have more time to do the things around the house that need to be done versus having to do an excruciating and painful amount of paperwork that I had to do before. It was always like hamster wheel, paperwork, do your list of activities for the day until you're done. By the time you're done, it's 5 p.m., dinner. I was just exhausted. Like, let's just put it that way. I was exhausted. It took a lot of my time, 40 hours a week. Like, I'm not going back, and I can never do that again. No, thank you. Okay. I did have time for self-care miraculously, but now I'm just able to, it's like guaranteed. Like, say I want to work out. Okay, I'll turn off my availability for an hour for taking in clients, and I'll go work out real quick. And it's as simple as that, right? And then I get back to it. But I just flow a lot easier than it just flows. It's way better than having a boss, and it's just nice. Okay. You can't get the time that you have with your kids back. If you have a family, you have children, you have a child, you can still become an entrepreneur. But for me, like ever since I changed and I transitioned into becoming an entrepreneur, I've noticed that I am a lot less stressed. It's not like telling my kids, no, I can't get to it, I have to work. I'm able to play with them more. I'm able to do the homework with them more. I'm able to interact with them a lot more and be more involved and hands-on. And I am super grateful for that. Okay. And even if you don't have kids, that's just an example. Like if you want to do projects or you want to have more time to do projects, definitely advise you to look into entrepreneurship, because down the line, maybe at first you'll have to put in the hours, or sometimes you will, but down the line, you really get that freedom. You don't have to work for anybody else. Nobody's telling you what to do and what hours to work. You get to decide that on your own. Okay. Even if it's ahead of time, you get to do that on your own. And for me, that has been like the gold that I've gotten throughout this whole journey, is just like being there, having more time for my kids and also for myself. I think that the hard thing about our society and our life is that we've been conditioned to believe that we should be working very hard for our money instead of allowing our money to just work for us sometimes. Okay. Actually, most of the time, I feel like most of the time I'm just flowing. I'm not even working. And then my money's doing the rest of the work so that I'm making money in my sleep. It's almost like fishing, right? Like you put a little bit of money out there to invest, and then a lot comes back. And that's just what it's like, what it looks like once you've set everything up and done the work once. Then you're going to reap that harvest, and you're going to get more back than what you put out. That's just the law, right? And that's my mindset. Is like, I don't work for money, money works for me now. And it's proven to be true, day in, day out. And so I definitely would like to see that in more people, and have that belief instilled in you that you don't have to work so hard. You don't have to do the 9 to 5 grind till you die kind of. You don't have to have that mentality anymore. We live in a time where we have the internet, and we can do whatever we want. Okay. And that's boss mentality. Boom, is money works for me. I don't work for money. A lot of bosses, they have to hire people, right, to work for them. They're spending their money to make money. And the rich people are very aware. Okay, whether you're rich or not, it's a mindset. They're aware of how to invest their money, and they understand that investments save time and allot them more time to do things on their own versus having to do everything by themselves and work really hard, just grind really hard. No, none of that. Okay, so I do want to give you a homework assignment if you stayed this long. If you were able to stay this long, that just shows how fully invested you are in this process and wanting to become an entrepreneur. So I invite you to take this homework assignment seriously, as if you are paying for this workshop, because this workshop gave you a lot of value, and to really take these action steps. Okay. So the first thing that I would invite you to do is to read the book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I read this book. It changed my life. It changed my mindset. And that is the one I would say the second thing, because the first thing was running into a mentor and taking a workshop such as this. The second thing was the book that I read, and it just really helped me to take my big leap. So definitely read that book. It's really going to bring a lot of insightful information and just help you to be more motivated to take your leap. Okay. Reflect on where you are now in your life and who you want to become, and ask yourself what or who is getting in the way of taking your big leap. Think about your why. Why is it that you want to leap forward? What is it that you're not happy with now that motivates you to take your leap? And start thinking about what would happen if you did succeed as a business owner. What would that look like? Okay. How would that feel for you to actually be a business owner? So right now, I do have available a program. It is a 5-week program called Your Big Leap, and it is available for, it's valued at over $5,000. It's available for $888. So if you gained information from this workshop, that is amazing. That is the whole reason why I did this. I am so happy that you came and that you gained the knowledge, and I thank you so much for taking the time. But if you want to continue this journey and you are for reals ready to take your leap, I am offering you this program for 5 weeks to invest in yourself. And I'm going to give you everything that I wish was given to me, that I've learned over the years of entrepreneurship, and that you can implement right away to see that return investment and to take your big leap and to feel confident, okay, in the fact that you can be and already are in entrepreneurship. So I definitely invite you to click the link below to learn more about what is being offered to you and whether or not it's a good fit for you. Again, thank you so much for attending my workshop, and I really look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to view this. I know that it was a pretty thorough one. But yeah, I hope that I was able to give you information, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.